We're towards the end of principle number 10, discussing spiritual teacher, on page 28. A spiritual teacher who has, through deep inner work, attained inner transformation and connection to God, inspires us to work towards our own spiritual development. The love and respect we feel in the presence of our spiritual teacher helps us develop our love and respect for God. While it is ideal to seek out a spiritual teacher who has already attained Dveikut, we need to be happy with what we have. We want to learn Torah from someone who can guide us in our inner transformation towards unconditional love and pure giving. We want to learn from someone striving to overcome the ego, who does not want to receive honor or anything else from others, but rather wants to give to others. A spiritual teacher teaches about giving and emunah, and is also a living example of humility, loving kindness, and doing for others. Someone who is on the path of Torah mitzvot, who aspires to attach to God, who knows how to properly teach the inner spiritual wisdom of Torah, who is working towards inner transformation, and who is constantly striving to nullify the ego to attain love for others and the desire to give, is someone we can learn from. So this principle, as we've been discussing for the past couple sessions, is saying a very important aspect of our spiritual path is to seek out a spiritual teacher to learn from. Not somebody who just knows some information to learn from, but somebody who's actually on the spiritual path, is working on themselves actively spiritually, and who can help guide us in our spiritual development. Spiritual teacher helps to guide us and also to inspire us. The same way, if a person wants to learn anything in this world, wants to learn how to be a healer, be a doctor, so you go to learn from somebody who's been involved in healing for many years. Not going to start to try to invent every medicine from scratch. We can learn from people who are involved in what we want to learn. So the same thing spiritually. When we become interested in growing spiritually and developing, become interested in our spirituality and our spiritual journey, so we want to seek out people who are actively working on their spirituality. We can learn according to our teacher. So we want to try to seek out the best teacher that we can for us. And always trying to remember that we're not trying to seek out somebody who can just pass for us information, but we're trying to seek out somebody who can help pass on to us higher consciousness. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much information we have, how wise we are, how much spiritual information we know. There's people that have learned spirituality and spiritual concepts for many, many years, and they know lots of spiritual wisdom, but haven't moved a millimeter themselves spiritually. haven't actually started to work on that transformation from wanting to get to wanting to give, from loving the self towards trying to love beyond the self. So we can't learn spiritual transformation from somebody who hasn't been working on their spiritual transformation. So finding our spiritual teacher is so important, and it's something that really we need to pray for and ask for God's help in bringing us and gifting us with a spiritual teacher who can help us in our spiritual journey. And since the source of all reality is flowing to us, all of the goodness and everything that's happening now is to help us to spiritually progress. So the moment that we truly want and are ready for our spiritual teacher, then God willing, it can be brought to us. So, okay, so we'll end for now, and God willing, go on to next time to Principle 11.